Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming. Today, we're going to talk about recognizing your strengths to be able to succeed in life. And this, I think, it's a very important topic because it applies in every aspect of our life. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about today. So thank you very much for being here. If you're watching live, #live. If you're watching replay, #replay, that will be great. So I know if you're around, if you're liking this, right? The more you engage with this, the more people get to see it too. So this is important, right? Because I'm doing this free stuff to be able to help as many people as I can out there. So if you can support me as I support you too, that will be awesome. So I really appreciate that. So again, thank you very much for being here. Let's get on going about this specific topic, okay? So recognizing your strength. This is important to every aspect of your life, whether it is you want to, find a partner to start sharing love, if you want to change jobs, if you want to ask for a raise, if you want to start your business, wherever it is in your life, it is important to be able to start recognizing who you are. Because as I always say, and I've been talking about this for many years now, is that many times we have no idea who we are. We have many limitations on who we are. And that's what I call negative self-images. Those negative self-images are the ones that are holding us back many times from being able to, change jobs, ask for a raise, find a partner, start a business, grow a business in different areas. These negative self-images that we have about ourselves because of what happened during childhood that created these negative stories, these negative self-images, it makes it very difficult to be able to get out there and expose yourself in whatever area. Again, find your partner, maybe going out with friends, with a sense of try to find somebody to share your love, going to, bars or different places to be able to find someone, maybe feeling, good to be able to ask for a raise to your boss, starting your business, whatever it is. If we are holding on to those limited images that we have about ourselves, those negative self-images, unfortunately, is going to make it much more difficult. And that's why a lot of people, and I was there for 30 years of my life, just living the life, playing the game with the cards that I was dealt. And I didn't even think that I could stop playing that game, throw the cards and go find some other game, or throw the cards on the table and say, hey, give me another hand. I want another hand. And now people just deal with a hand that is dealt to them because that's what they think they should be doing. And we don't see like a bigger picture on how we can start making changes because in a way, as I mentioned many times, we have been programmed to play small, unfortunately. And that's why I want to offer this today to help people to be able to become more their true self and be able to live the life that you're looking to live. So the first thing we need to do is start identifying who we are. We're not a title. We're not a degree. We're not, in my case, I'm not a coach. I'm not, the mind engineer. That is just a name that I'm using so that I create some type of curiosity, some type, I use it in marketing to get people interested in what I'm doing, right? But am I the mind engineer? Although sometimes I say it, maybe in the future, I might change the name. I don't know. In the future, I had another kind of, stage name that I used, right? And there was somebody else using it too. So I decided to change it. So the more we identify, I'm this car, I'm this job, I'm this, I'm a father, I'm, a husband, I'm these things, the less I'm going to be able to truly find who I am deep down, who I am meant to be. And yes, I am now in the role of a father. I'm doing this role. I'm playing, quote unquote, this role. But that doesn't mean that that's who I am. I am much more than a father. I'm much more than the mind engineer. I'm much more than, the title or the degrees that I might have. I am much more. And this is what I want you to start, checking with yourselves, people, because I hear so many people identify with who they think they are. Degrees, titles, names as in a father, partner, wife, or whatever. We need to understand that those are roles we're playing, and those roles can change. And to prove to you guys this, have you ever heard the empty nest syndrome? The empty nest syndrome happens when kids leave their house, and men can experience that, but mostly women experience that because they have attached, their worth to being a mom. And now suddenly the kids don't need them anymore. And now they start feeling negative. They start feeling bad about themselves because what am I going to do from now on? Or the guy that retires and now feels that their life is over because they don't know what they're going to do. And a lot of people, not everyone, of course, don't get me wrong, but just showing you different areas where people can start struggling. People that suddenly retire and they don't know what to do about their life because they have been defined by that external thing. Their worth, their validation came externally, and now they don't know who they are. And they have a crisis. Or people that have the 30-year-old crisis, a 40-year-old crisis, a 50-year-old crisis. It has to do because they don't truly know who they are. They might have a limited version in their head of who they should be, or, what happens many times is, imagine that a person, they made up in their mind that when they were 30 or when they were 40, they were going to have, a very good job, a specific title, a specific, title in their job, like a, general manager or CEO or CFO, whatever, right? So they picture something in their mind that we're going to be able to achieve at a specific age, and suddenly they hit that age and they're lacking some of those things. So now they have a mental breakdown. I don't know if you've heard that before from other people, that they had a mental breakdown in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, when they got, when they retired. People go through these things because they tend to define themselves externally. Now, what we see a lot, and I've been seeing it, is that a lot of people are defining themselves through their body. First, for the past years, we've seen through money or through their body, how their body looks, with muscle-wise, how much money they have. That is, again, validating yourself externally. People are validating themselves now because they call themselves that they're spiritual. Oh, I'm awakened. So now it's like, oh, that's, I'm valid because I'm awakened. And the people that are not are, oh, they're asleep, they're less than. We got to be very careful because many times we're standing from the ego. So when we're standing from the ego, we're standing on our limited version. So we're not here to start judging the ego that is judging others. Look at this. We're not here to judge the ego that is judging others, or, judging the ego that is limited. No, we're just facing facts. And from the ego, unfortunately, we cannot be this, more true version, higher version of ourselves, or greater version of ourselves. We can't. The ego is limited, sees the world through a keyhole. Yes, it is limited. And it's okay. Remember, the ego was created to protect us. It's not the enemy. So we need to learn to love and accept what is. That's the first step to be able to bring some change. But I need to truly love and accept, not just, oh, Tommy told me I need to love and accept. So the first thing is I need to love and accept that I am normally working from a limited version of myself because I don't truly know who I am. So if I want to be able to grow my business, again, partner, ask for more money in my job, change jobs, do whatever in my life, I need to start first seeing where am I limiting myself and who truly I am deep down, my true self, that is going to help me become this greater version, because I'm already that. This is important to understand. I'm already an amazing being. But I have all these limitations that make me think that I'm inadequate, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not valued, that I'm not worthy. So I need to do things externally to feel good about myself. Yes, a lot of people out there are trying to do things externally to try to feel good about themselves. But unfortunately, what starts happening is that whenever in an area they're not getting the results that they want, they start beating themselves up. They start feeling like a failure because they're not getting the results that they want. But we need to understand that it's the other way around. The person feels like a failure and is going out there to try to achieve things to try to feel good about themselves. So it's the opposite. It's loving and accepting that I feel already like a failure. From there, I can start building something different. From there, I can start, okay, where did I learn that I'm a failure? Oh, when I was a kid, I don't know, my dad hit me, so it made me feel like a failure because I didn't do good at school. Why didn't I do good at school? Maybe I didn't have the support. Maybe I know I was insecure and my mind was all over the place and I couldn't think clearly. I took several exams where I failed really badly because my mind got overwhelmed, got all, foggy because of nervousness, because of anxiety. So it wasn't the problem that I had a learning problem. A lot of people thought that I had ADD or ADHD, and I didn't. It was my mind that was showing these traits because of my lack of self-worth, my lack of value. So when I started working on identifying those things and also finding my strengths, I was able to start making changes, as I have shared many times, and this is what I'll share today a little bit more. So one of the exercises that I help people do, and it's very powerful if you take it serious, right? I want you to make a list of the things that you admire from other people. I imagine that several here might have done this exercise. It's great to do it again, because many times we forget things, and on the other hand, many times we discover new things while we do this exercise. So write down things that you admire from other people. It doesn't matter who it is, if it's alive or not, it doesn't matter. Just write down as many as you can, things that you admire from other people. I'm going to give now 10 seconds, 20 seconds to start doing that exercise if you can. If you're watching live, I'm going to continue. I'm sorry, if you're watching replay, I would recommend that you pause the video, do the exercise, and then continue watching the video. But right now, as we're live, we're going to continue, okay? So it is to write things down that you admire from other people. So I'm going to continue with the exercise. If you're watching replay, stop this so it doesn't blow the exercise, right? In a way, the how do you call when there's an advance in a movie and it's spoiler alert, there we go. So there's also going to be a spoiler alert. So stop the video if you're not live. If you're live, let's continue. When we write things down that we admire from other people, we need to understand that those things are within us. Yes, those things that we admire from others are things that we already have. Does it mean, and this is the important part, because some of you might be thinking, but Tommy, I rolled these things and I don't identify with these things, compared to this other guy out there. Okay, but look what you just said. You're comparing yourself with the other person that you're looking up. But if you forget about that person for a second and you wrote down, imagine, right? Oh, this person I like that he's organized or neat, or a woman that is neat, right? So I might say, oh, but I'm not very organized. I'm not very neat. Look at my cupboard. Look at my drawers in my bedroom. They're a mess. My clothes is all over the place. Okay, but I invite you to find areas in your life where you might find some neatness. And maybe at work, maybe your desk at work is a little bit neat, or maybe you have some drawers where you have your special things that are neat, or I don't know, something in your life where you're being able to manifest that neatness, right? That it might not be to the level of the person that you're looking up, but at least you're manifesting that. I've worked with a lot of people. I've been doing this for 14 years. Now people tell me, oh, Tommy, but here it says, I don't know, determination. I'm not determined. Okay, why do you think that? And we start talking about it, and suddenly, okay, try to find different areas in your life where you have been able to manifest a little bit, even a tiny bit, even a 1% of determination. And they're like, oh yeah, here I was determined, here I was determined, here I was determined. There you go. It was very little maybe to compare to the potential that you have compared to the person you're seeing that is determined, but it doesn't mean that it's not in your life. If you check the list of words that you wrote down, you're gonna for sure find even 1% of those things in your life. It might not be 90%, it might not be 80%, it might not even be 50%, but it is in your life. I'm going to guarantee that. And if somebody here is doubting it, right? I see kind of, Romana, I don't have this in my life. Romana, you said something. We'll look at that in a second, right? When we do a little bit of laser coaching a little bit later, we'll talk about that, okay? I read your message there. So whatever we're seeing from other people, it means that we have some type of that in us. It might not be manifesting as we would like to, but it is there. So the idea is to be able to work now that we see a little bit of who we also are. This person, I admire these things from all these people. This is who I am. I'm not the degree. I'm not the house. I'm not the car. I'm not the title. I'm not my business. I am these traits that I brought up, right? So yesterday I was working with a woman that she was telling me that she, she was kind of, what was the word she used? She was, like, what was her word? Intense. There you go. She was using the word intense, that she was intense. So I told her, okay, you feel that you're intense. Let's try to see what other word, positive word, because intense can have a negative connotation. She had that in her mind. What other word also you could describe yourself that could be confused with intense? And she said, I have a lot of energy. I'm very passionate. So suddenly, from seeing intense as something negative, she started being able to step back a little bit and start seeing the good traits that she had that sometimes could be confused with intense as a negative thing. So it was great that she had a lot of energy. It was great that she was determined, that she was, passionate. Some people could see that as intense. You see how suddenly we can start seeing who we are from those areas. For many years, I was told that I was stubborn, that I was hard-headed. And many years later, a friend of mine told me, Tommy, you know what? I don't feel you're hard-headed. I feel that you're determined. And some people might see that as stubborn or hard-headed. And I was like, yes, that is me. I'm determination. And I've been like that my entire life. When I want something, I go for it. Even if it doesn't work, even if people are saying no, I still try and go do it. That is determination. Yes, it can be confused sometimes with stubbornness. Sometimes I don't listen. Don't get me wrong. I might fall into stubbornness, but doesn't mean that I'm stubborn. I'm determined, and sometimes I go overboard, and that might show a trait that is, in a way, stubborn. But the truth is, I am determination. So I started owning those words, and I started repeating them, and that is what started building my strength, recognizing who I am. A lot of people say like, oh, I'm an architect, or I'm a magician, or I'm a coach, or and they feel proud for the title that they're using. But that title can go away. You might have an accident and not be able to play anymore. So now what? You're not valued anymore? You're not worthy anymore? No, your being is still worthy. You just got to find, your worthiness within, and then be able, how can you, as I always say, pour that in whatever you do. Pour your being in whatever you do. So this is important to recognize our strengths to help us become who we truly are. And this is also going to help us face the challenges that we face, because if we can see our values, if we can see our strengths, that can be the fuel to be able to face the different challenges that we're going through. So it's very important to start working on identifying our true strength, our true, who we are, our true traits, if you want to say also, right? Our traits of, again, determination, as I was saying, maybe, passionate, energetic, loving, caring, whatever. What are things that you see in other people that you would like to have? You might not recognize them yet, but they are there in your life, and you just have to start seeking. When you write that list and you take it with you everywhere, and you wake up every morning reading that list and say, okay, today I'm going to try to find where I am able to manifest this. And practice in manifesting that. Maybe kindness, right? I want to develop more kindness. Okay, what can I do? It's not just, a lot of people tell me, oh, I'm just going to pray for kindness. I love the movie, the Ark, the one that, what's the actor? I don't remember. It's kind of an old movie, not so old, but a guy is, appointed by God to build a big ark in a town that, there was going to be a big flood. The problem is there wasn't a big flood from a rain. There was a dam that broke, and the ark saved the people of that town, right? And her wife was praying for God, both of them, him and her wife, his wife, sorry, were praying to ask God for union in the family, for love, for caring, for respect, things like that. So God, that it was kind of playing the part in a guy waiting tables, tells the woman, like, you were asking God, but the woman tells, you were praying for this and that. And the guy said, sometimes God doesn't give you, courage because you already have it. What God gives you is the situations that you need to be able to show the courage. So it's not about developing courage, it's about connecting with the courage that is already inside of you. It's not something that you got to obtain from the outside. This is important again. These are your strengths. They are inside of you. They are innate to you. They belong to you. You just have to be able to tap into them. If you keep seeking on the outside, it's not going to happen. That's why I love this movie, this movie, that it's silly. It's a silly movie. Don't get me wrong, guys. I don't remember the arc, but I don't remember the exact name. I'll share the afterwards. I'll check it out. Okay. But it's a silly movie, but it has so many nice messages inside of it. And this one is, for me, it was a big one. Like, when you want things, God is going to bring the situations, or the universe is going to bring the situations to help you develop those strengths, connect with those strengths, not find it on the outside, not just give me courage. No, tap into your courage. It is inside of you. Don't ask God for courage or for this or for that. It is already inside of you. See how you can tap into that, because the universe is making you a favor in showing these circumstances to help you connect with that courage, manifest that courage, practice, developing in a way. Like, the muscle is there. I just need to exercise the muscle. The courage isn't there. I need to develop that muscle, the courage to show that, or determination, or whatever it is. So when I start recognizing who I truly am and my strengths, that is going to help you go through the challenges that life is going to bring your way. So I hope that makes sense. Work on that exercise, on identify the things that you admire from others. Where do you have them? Even if it's a 1% in your life, even a 1% in your life, it is there. You might not be able to see it, but I guarantee, I promise you that is there. And if you're having trouble seeing that, reach out. Remember, I'm offering free guidance call, and the free guidance call could be used to help you figure out in what area of your life you're manifesting different things that you're not ever aware of. Romana just was sharing here on Zoom that she find it difficult to see something in her life. And although, she cannot see it, right? I can say that she already has that in her life without even knowing it. And we'll talk about that in a second on Zoom with her, right? So whatever we see in other people, it is inside of us. We just need to practice showing up to that. Okay, so how can I start practicing, courage, facing things that I'm trying to move away? But again, don't force yourself to face those things. Remember, try to love and accept that you're not wanting to face something. Doing your taxes, talking to your boss to ask for a raise, going out to the bar and asking somebody out, or growing your business by reaching out to more people. If you're not doing it, don't just force yourself to do it. This is very important, because that creates disconnect within. What I would recommend is to ask yourself, okay, how do I feel about reaching out to people? How do I feel about asking my boss for a raise? How do I feel about asking this person out? Oh, I feel scared. Okay, it's okay to feel scared. I love and accept what is. I try to understand why the fear is there. It could be fear of rejection. Okay, it's okay. Yes, that person can reject you. And what happens if that person rejects you? Oh, it's going to make me feel not valued, not worthy, that I'm not good enough. Okay, it makes total sense. So there's a part of me that is feeling not good enough if a woman or a man or my boss or somebody rejects me, or even a potential client. Okay. So now I become the observer looking at that part of me. I've talked about this many times, but we do the exercise, right? I'm not going to go deep into the exercise. That's another talk we can have, right? Into loving and accepting the part of me that doesn't want to be rejected. Because deep down, guys, people, what you are doing is rejecting yourself. Any of you can reject me. I have no power over you people not to reject me. And I get rejected very often with the work that I do. people not wanting to talk to me, people getting angry because I'm reaching out, people that don't want to get on a call with me, people that get on a call with me and don't like what I say. It's okay. It happens. So does it mean that I'm not good enough? Oh, I'm realizing now I am making myself feel not good enough because of what they're doing. But actually, what they're rejecting is my work. They're not rejecting Tommy. They're rejecting my work. My work is not Tommy. My work is my work. Today I'm doing this, tomorrow I can do something else. So they're rejecting my work. They're not rejecting Tommy. So now I can start changing, right, how I reject myself from what they're saying. So I don't reject Tommy. As I start doing that, again, from my strengths, I'm going to be able to find it easier to face the different challenges in life. Recognizing who I truly are, working on developing those muscles to manifest more of who I am is going to truly allow me to face any challenge. So let me know if this is making sense in the chat. Type 10 in the chat if this is making sense, if you're liking this. I want to see if there's somebody on social media watching this. I hope, people can take advantage of this talk. It's very important to start recognizing this. If we're using this, right, different things on the outside to try to validate ourselves, to try to feel good enough, to try to feel, worthy. Most people out there are looking on the outside to try to define themselves on the inside. And it's the other way around, people. We need to recognize who we are, because from there, I can face any challenge. When I recognize who I am, it doesn't matter what other people say. From a loving place, okay, this person didn't like what I had to say. It's okay. Hey, let's agree to disagree. Before, I would try to fall into this, people pleasing or try to convince the other person to show them that I was right, because if they didn't agree with me, it made me feel not good enough. Now I can just say to people, okay, let's agree to disagree. Yesterday, if you look at my profile, I put a small post about saying that most of the times, partners get divorced, or, partners or, couples get separate because they start hating things in the other person that they hate in themselves. So it has to do with a projection. And a woman said, like, nonsense, or this is absurd, or something like that. And she it seemed that she was attacking me. No, she was just talking about the post. And I answered back to her. I talked to her a little bit. And then I said, as I saw that she was not wanting to go there, I just said, you know what? Let's agree to disagree. And then she wrote something back. And then I answered back, but it's okay if she doesn't want to see it. I don't feel attacked. I didn't feel like she was attacking me. She was attacking something that I said. And maybe she doesn't see it. And it's okay if she doesn't see it. I might try to, help her understand, but over a message is very difficult. I should get on a call with her. If she's not willing to get on a call with me, there's nothing I can do. So, I left it there. So was she attacking me with what she wrote? That she wrote something like, this is absurd, this is nonsense, or whatever. No, she was talking about my words, not Tommy, the being. And if she was trying to direct it to Tommy, it's okay. That's on her. I'm not going to direct it to Tommy, because I realized that she was talking, or she should be talking about my words, not me, my being. So when we're able to do those things, to stand on our strengths, develop that strength, see our value from within, then people can throw stuff at us and we can deal with those things much easier. So again, thank you very much for watching. I hope this really helped people. The idea is to share value. If you can share this with other people that you think might benefit from this, that would be amazing. So thank you very much again. I'll stay here on Zoom with the people that are here, part of the community, to keep going deeper with these things. So thank you very much. I'll see you on the next call. Take care, guys. Bye.